what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense led out by number 3, Russell Wilson, the franchise's all-time leader in touchdown passes. And the Seahawks, they finished above 500 in all 7 of Wilson's seasons. But this year a little different. He'll work with a very young receiving core, no Doug Baldwin anymore, in what promises to be a tough NFC West. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. This one into the hands of Metcalf. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
is the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, now Breeze. His throw incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
17 yards, first down, Vikings.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. A first down carry for Barkley. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the number 1 overall offense in the league.
From the 22, Breeze being chased out left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. From the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Eluding the pressure right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Irv Smith Jr. with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Picking up where they left. Off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you should get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last. Run.
Strong right.
Now it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Saquon Barkley takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Breeze to throw. And that's caught by Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it. Run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air. And what a result. Big-time play.
Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Football continuing all December here on EA Sports. Coming up Thursday night, a good one from the Windy City. It ought to be a cold one, too. The Cowboys and the Bears from Soldier Field with coverage at 8:20 Eastern Time. They run it with Carson. Fights him off. Still going. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Al Woods able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Breeze. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
It's taken to the 26. Good move at the 30. You call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Well, they got the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. It's caught. Lock it. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Al Woods in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. To throw, it's Brees. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brees. Throw complete to the tight end, Morgan. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Brees again. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Set the tone, defense.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Complete. Smith has it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Breeze to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
The final shot before half for Breeze. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Trent Taylor, as time expires in the first half, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the visiting Titans who were able to walk away with the road victory. 26-10 was your final. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. 27-15 was your final score. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up. Pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Keep it up. Wide. Get wide. Hey, easy. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
They'll run it again with Barkley. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Barkley, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, but now it's third down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Now Breeze. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart in points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I would bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
10 yards in a Seattle first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his third touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown.
Partner, remember that old film with Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Breeze will try again on second down. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory. 3
touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's got He dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Get off the field, D.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football.
Wow, that ball ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 44 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Carson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. This one fielded at the 5. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
And he finds Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to air one, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 60 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and the lead will swell by one more. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, a second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the game there. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing again here, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Bennett. And he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Breeze now on first down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
I got it.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And his throw here's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. From the gun on third down, Breeze. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Seahawks on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, it's Burnett. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wilson's pass complete to Van Ness. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Wilson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
I bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Breeze. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Breeze is looking to throw. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory.
Come on now.
A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly. They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened.
There he goes, left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Minnesota, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they fall to 6-6